are live. NBA rundown time. RunPureSports.com. And last night, we got to witness the greatest small forward in the game, the best player in Miami Heat history, put on an epic performance, and then we watched some West Coast team beat a couple jobbers. But Jimmy Butler led the way. Tyler, you and I were actually upset, though, as excited as I am to start the show with that. It was a great performance, but a performance that cost us money, as we liked Milwaukee to get it done last night. I actually was working, so I texted you during the deal, but I watched the game when I got home. Didn't think that Giannis was 100%. What did you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I got in the full tilt mode about 3.5 quarters through that game spread, so after that, I have no logical view on that game because I almost punched a hole through the screen. But I mean, it's just the Bucks suck. I'm done with that team. Like I guess they just completely forgot what a double team is. Like, just don't even throw a double team at Jimmy. Just drop under every screen. Just let him continue to torch you. So, Coach Bud's an idiot. They suck. If Kyrie never gets hurt, they never win a ring. That's where I'm starting this show at.
Okay, I was with you till you gave Kyrie Irving props. Like, come on, we can't go too far.
If he doesn't get hurt, do the Bucks win that series? I say no.
James Harden could have won in the form of Kyrie. Nah. AP, what are your thoughts there? Jimmy Butler breaks the slate.
I mean, it was insane. It was crazy. I'm tilted with Tyler because I was in Discord early and I was just like, you know what? It's a must-win game for Miami. I just felt it was. If they lose that game, they're not winning the series. There's no way they win it. I think they knew that. Spo is a good coach. He's smart. He knew it. Jimmy Buckets, the game had to go through him. He put the team on his back. He played 40-plus minutes. I mean, this guy at the end of the first quarter, like, couldn't breathe. I mean, he was dripping in sweat. He was, hunched over. That performance was – we haven't seen anything like that in quite some time. Like, literally, you're talking they threw early on some of the better defenders, if not the best, Drew Holiday, Giannis, threw them all right at Jimmy. It did not matter. Now, I agree with Tyler, Coach Bud. There was a lot of things late that they didn't do that they should have done, calling timeouts for one. Don't let Jimmy get the ball or like throw – two guys at him constantly. Don't let him get to the rim. I mean, he got how many possessions in a row in the fourth, late in the fourth when they went on the run? I mean, he got whatever he wanted. You can't let that happen. Middleton guarding him. Why not throw Drew Giannis on him like they did early? He made some tough shots in that first quarter. I mean, really, really tough shots. I don't think he's making there in the fourth. You throw Middleton on him, gets Middleton in foul trouble, gets Middleton fouled out. Man, it was a fun game to watch. I was kind of tilted at the same time because it's a side story, but my son, we got him contacts. Effing shouldn't have gotten him contacts. He's in 5th grade. The doctor lady said he's not ready. My wife went ahead and did it. This dude is just struggling getting those in. Gets his contact stuck like in his eye and starts freaking out. I mean, we all know, like, if you had contacts, that feeling. Now just imagine, being 10, 11 years old and that happening right as like this game is trying to close out. And I'm like, shut up, dude. Just chill. I'll get it in a second. Like, he's freaking out. Down, Jimmy Butler's going nuts. Oh, it was crazy. But
AP's like, just calm down. I'll get it out when the buzzer goes off.
No, but it was, really impressive. Jimmy showed out. Isn't it kind of telling though? Like, think back to there's been a few games that I think the Bucks have had that's been really telling. Think about one that we should all remember. Happened recently when Boston went into Milwaukee and absolutely dusted them by like 40 points. I mean, just absolutely smoked them. They defensively, they've been struggling for quite some time now. It's insane. I don't understand it because they're known as a good defensive team, especially in transition. It just has not been there this season at all. So they got some issues. They got some serious issues that they got to get figured out. I mean, they got to you got to think that what's the series odds right now as well? Like, I think that there's an opportunity because, like, I saw something this morning how the Bucks are still like plus like 120 or something in the series, which makes no sense to me.
I'll pull it up.
Or like maybe it was 150 or something.
They're plus 110 on FanDuel.
They're only plus 120.
What's Miami then? because
-130.
Miami's -136. That's a great point.
Why aren't we betting that
right now?
You're like Giannis obviously isn't healthy. He did not look himself. Like you don't think this team is gonna give it everything that they have the next 2 games? If it goes 7, yeah, Miami's losing this. I don't like. They're closing this out next game or the game after. You're going to see, like, Bam was terrible last game. He did nothing. Like, what'd you guys think of Bam? I thought Bam was an absolute disaster. It was all Jimmy buckets, Duncan Robinson. I thought Kyle Lowry looked good.
Into that, though?
What?
He's so inconsistent now, Bam. He's kind of morphed into a boomer bust.
I just meant every player except for Bam did exactly what they were supposed to do. I think Gabe Vincent, he didn't shoot it well early. He did what he was supposed to do. Kyle Lowry was good. He didn't play a ton of minutes, but he did what he needed to do. Same with Duncan Robinson, hit big shots. Max Strus, terrible. Bam Adebayo, terrible. It was enough to get it done, though.
All right. And, after watching, a great performance by a Miami Heat forward that you could watch like AP was doing, you can watch with your children. You could be proud of them as a role model. Then we had to watch that Drek in Los Angeles. Ugh.
You didn't like that game?
It was a great game. I'm just mad who won. Because yesterday on the show, AP, I kept saying, if the Grizzlies win, they're not
No, you're going for the Grizzlies?
Spread. Anti-Lakers.
I don't care. I don't care. You're going for the Grizzlies? Oh, spread.
It's like rooting for like Cobra against G.I. Joe.
No.
Bad guys.
I like this team. I like it. LeBron year 20. I mean, the spread. Spread. Put the Lakers heat or the Laker hate aside. You gotta admire what this guy's doing.
How could I put that aside?
He plays 45 minutes last night and is an absolute hero. Gets the game tied up. I mean, do we want me to go full on like LeBron stroke?
Yeah, go full on. The people are gonna love it. That's what they're here for. Because of the 53 people watching, like 51 tuned in to watch me melt down today. Because
did they?
Thinking that right as that game went to overtime. And I mean, let's give him credit, right? He's a fantastic basketball player. I just enjoy rooting against him when he makes that layup, right? I mean, they can just feel me melting. They can just, fighting back tears. They're here for it.
Like when I did my write-up, I said this series and game, it all depends on what AD does. And I was actually wrong. I thought Anthony Davis wasn't as dominant as we thought he would be. He was clutch and some key plays for sure, but it was a group effort. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, talk about a dude that just has had a pretty rough series, and then you make back-to-back 3-point balls just right in their face. I mean, there were so many things about that game that was so awesome. Like, this playoff so far is what the NBA needs. I thought this regular season wasn't good, and I think hopefully they figure something out, or else regular seasons moving forward aren't going to be good. I mean, Miami Heat being an example, like you take the regular season off, now you're in the playoffs and you're beating the 1 seed. I mean, they're going to have to change some things up because, from a fan's perspective, I thought it was a rough regular season, a lot of rest, a lot of games that were just annoying, trying to keep these guys healthy. And the playoffs, though, has been awesome. I think every night it's been so fun. There's been some sort of action going on. Maybe that changes tonight. We got 3 closeout games, big spreads. Maybe it's not going to be as an exciting night.
Sucks.
Tonight does probably suck.
Let's just say tonight sucks. The fact that there's 8.
We got
only one of them is at 2-2.
So we got all right, spread. I'm gonna push back on you though, because
please do.
It will suck, but you got Anthony Edwards playing at a level that this is a small market team. Not a lot of people watch them play. They're not on ESPN much. They're not on TNT much. This is a great chance for Anthony Edwards to continue to show how great he is. And then how can we not? And Russ is going to be disrespected in the DFS streets tonight. I looked at some ownership projections right before the show, and obviously doing the heat map. He's projected to be 5 to 7% owned. No one's going to play him. And it's how? Where's the production going? We're going to talk about these games, but where's the production going to come from that team? Think about Jimmy Butler yesterday. Now we're not Russ isn't an elite elite guy, elite shooter. But Jimmy Butler's game isn't like 3-point shooting, long jumpers. It's all about getting to the rim. And so, like, the one thing I think Phoenix, like, I think there's a huge liability with this team. They have one of the worst combined defensive ratings in the playoffs so far. They've been terrible. And it's not like this first-round matchup is against an offensive juggernaut, especially with Kawhi Leonard out. I think I'm worried about this Phoenix team. They close it out tonight. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about them and how deep they think that they can go.
Yeah, I'm worried about them too because the evil empire is going to rule again. This is so terrible.
Is it bad that I want to see Lakers Celtics spread? I mean, is that
it's terrible.
Why?
It's terrible.
I think it's the perfect
year.
I think it's when's the last time we saw Lakers Celtics?
2009.
Spread would rather have the Warriors.
2009. What year is it, spread? 2023. It's been ages since we've seen it.
When was the last time we saw Sacramento, Milwaukee? Oh, never. Let's see something new.
Maybe you're.
Who wants to see Sacramento, Milwaukee? It's outside of spread. Oh, that's too good.
Hit the thumbs up in the chat if you like AP. Hit the thumbs up for me, whichever you like. Tyler, you want to jump in here and talk some sense?
Hit the thumbs up for me and AP because that was my when we did our playoff show. That was my pick, Lakers Boston. So I'm on AP side spread. There's no help there for you.
I just think you got the new, kind of the changing of the guard. I think it would be the perfect way, like send LeBron on.
I've been down to change this guard about 5 years ago. The dude's 38. You're not supposed to be doing this stuff at 38.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Only Lance Armstrong can understand how a man can do this at age 38.
Listen, spread. LeBron kept Tatum out of his first finals. His rookie year? He kept them out when they went to the conference finals. They battled. He was on the Cavs. Cavs gutted that out in 7.
Yeah.
He gets his first taste of the finals. He runs into the guy LeBron ran into a ton in Steph Curry.
Boston will smack them.
And, that was last year, and we see how that went. But, yeah, now this year they run back into an old foe, LeBron, as they try and capture their first ring. It all lines up perfectly. Storyline, NBA.
Phoenix better step up. You're going to tell me I'm going to have to root for Chris Paul.
I'm on Travis's side. Phoenix is going down next round.
I would rather take the Lakers. Lakers are deeper. They have better role players. Phoenix is running out a 6-man rotation. If they go and face a team like Boston, talk about health and liability.
No matter what. I mean, the East is winning the title. Western Conference.
I wouldn't go there that fast.
I don't even try like the Nuggets a little. I thought the Nuggets they should have swept Minnesota. They'll get it done tonight, but we'll see. We'll see how they show up against the Suns. And then the War. How lucky are the Warriors? Spread that. Why are you more pissed at that? Like
because that's
the Warriors run so good.
Team AP. That's the other team he roots for.
The Warriors?
Yeah, he roots for the Kings, the Warriors, and the Bucks.
Oh,
and the Clippers. I think they're my favorite team.
The last 2 teams that won the championship just so happen to be in his top 3.
No, if I bet on you at like 20-1 and you win me money, well, the Warriors was usually like 2-1, but still, I like you then. I like who's going to make me money.
You could still.
I'm going to say it right now. I think we all think the East is going to win. I think the best team that has the best chance to beat Boston, I think we all agree it's going to be Boston, is the Lakers.
I think Phoenix has a better chance.
I don't
because they have no depth.
So high.
The depth, like we haven't even seen, like
in the finals.
Malik Beasley's been terrible. He's been a good defender, but he can't hit a shot. Like they got role players that are going to come online later, and you got to love that they're able to run a 9-man rotation, keep their guys healthy. They don't need to play LeBron 40, 45 a night like KD has to play 45 a night. That's going to have major impacts down the stretch.
Yep.
Jonathan Nelson, I don't need to appreciate shit, okay?
Oh, man.
I'm not having a good day, Jonathan Nelson. De'Aaron Fox hurt his finger.
At least they gave you that draft winner.
De'Aaron Fox has been so good. Like, Jimmy Butler's been the best player. De'Aaron Fox not far off. He's been so good.
I know.
He's been so good.
Disappointing for him to get hurt. And it's so funny because there's these discussion around injuries, right? And you know me, I'm pro shorten the season. These guys should only play 2 times a week. It's so, here you guys are on here, always saying, oh, new basketball is so good. Well, not you guys. Most of you guys are pretty smart, but you got guys like Mikey, right? Always riling me up. Mikey. Oh, new basketball is so good. Oh, the game has changed. It's so much better. Oh, Tyler does it too. Oh, right? These guys from the 90s, they couldn't do shit. Okay, if that was so archaic, why are we running that archaic 82-game schedule? These guys should be playing twice a week. The amount of preparation they get is like the Thursday night football quality. But in the NBA, we get Thursday night football quality basketball from the moment they tip off until about the conference finals. You can't win. The guys that load manage, they're getting hurt.
I mean, we should all blame Greg Popovich, who started all of this. We all know it with the Spurs.
And the very first time, and you know what he wrote? He wrote Tim Duncan old. And that's why it was so funny, and everyone thought it was funny, and we all thought it was funny. Yeah.
I don't go that route. I blame the guy at the top. I blame Silver. This all changed when he took over.
But no. My point is, it doesn't matter. The guys they're saying,
doesn't he want to start like a mid-season tournament too? So he just wants to add more.
But that's just regular season games.
To take the Disney job already. Just get the hell out of here. Like, give us a good commission that actually wants to see good basketball. Dude's just trying to line his pockets.
My point is, Giannis doesn't load manage, right?
Neither is Ant Edwards,
and he got hurt, right? De'Aaron Fox didn't load manage. He gets hurt. Like, there's no way to prevent these injuries.
Yeah, his injury though was a finger. I mean, that's just
it's just my.
It's not like a hamstring or
My point is, these injuries, it just happens, and we got to navigate it. But
I feel like the injuries come more with the resting too, because your body's like, if you play 8 straight games in say 14 days. And then you go sit for a week, and then you go try and play 40 minutes again. Those guys are the guys who usually get hurt. I mean, we seen when for instance, when Derrick Rose got hurt, they were rushing them guys out there every other day to play a game, back to backs. They gave him 2 days off, and he went back out there and blew his ACL out. It's like when you got these guys going at full speed, and you try and stop and take some rest, your body adjusts, and then you go try and go again, then something breaks. So I think you just got to keep rolling throughout the season.
My last note on the Lakers. Just gotta, stroke the Lakers
jab me one more time, right? You didn't get the.
What I love about them, their role players have bought into their role. They are 100% bought in. D'Lo bought in. Reeves is bought in because undrafted, dude that's become awesome. Malik Beasley, who was a key, he's had key roles like on other teams. He's bought into his role, being a defensive guy, not a volume shooter, which we saw He was a volume shooter for the Timberwolves, and he's still a good shooter, but he's bought into this role, focusing on defense. Rui Hashimura, another guy that's really bought in. You got to like that. Now it's AD. They need AD. AD has to be the guy and carry this team. Obviously, LeBron the face and stuff, but year 20, come on, it has to be AD. He needs to be better than last night. They're lucky to get the win last night, but they got to go in and close it out next game. That's what I think they got to do.
Definitely got to be better, AP. I mean, I bet it's over 23.5, and the dude can't score, 15 points?
Yeah, we the people. D'Lo is trash. That's fine, but he's not shooting 20 times. He's embraced that role, trying to focus more on defense, and he hit some key shots last night.
Yes. So. Speaking of that name spread, you told me he was going to stink last night. I'm pretty sure those key threes came in the fourth quarter when they needed that lead back.
This show's been absolutely disgusting today. The only thing that can make it work is if Mikey showed up.
I can shoot him a text message,
Mikey.
get him in the chat.
Yeah, shoot him a text message. Make my day worse. I was sitting there thinking about it. Why do I allow myself to get this mad? But I really do. It's really like bringing me down that the Lakers are going to freaking win again. And I was
you get mad when when another team's going to win. Like, I get mad when I'm watching the Bucks just not double team a guy that has 50 points. Like, what are we doing?
I'm being a hater. You're being a basketball fan.
Yeah.
But all that aside, Tyler, amidst all the pain and anguish, we've managed to have a profitable NBA season, right? So, hey,
don't you guys
no game?
Don't you think part of the problem for the Bucks is like they have too many dudes? Like you got too many options to go to.
The problem is they only have really one player that changes it. I think that Giannis is that good where he's taken, an average group of players and put them into championship contention.
Drew
I mean, let's
Holiday's
just
not
say
average. I mean, you think Drew
and to Portland?
No. Drew Holiday is an all-star level player. But
Chris
Drew
Middleton
Holiday is not good anymore. He's like Klay Thompson now.
Who? Chris Middleton?
Yeah. He's a guy who used to be a top 52-way player that's offense only now.
I mean, Brook Lopez, he's up there for Defensive Player of the Year, played phenomenally. I mean, he was incredible yesterday. Yeah. Why not? Like, I think you got these Joe Ingles, Jay Crowder, these guys that aren't, like, obviously aren't meshing with their system yet. Go to Pat Conn. Like, Pat Conn knows their system. Yep. Like, he's been, like, over Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, I don't know. I think.
I just think if you're relying on Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton, your roster probably is not good enough. And you've been letting Giannis bail you out for the last couple of years, and he's that.
It's almost like we're nitpicking a team that should have never won a championship if it weren't for a few key injuries.
On that note,
why aren't they bold? Like, why? Like, if I'm the Bucks, you got this team that's so like this Miami team's not big. You got Kevin Love out there, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, Caleb Martin. These aren't big guys. They're not, your physical guys, Jimmy, you got, Bam, obviously, but like just bully them. Like do what you did against like the Suns in the championship.
I know. It's disgusting. It's crazy. Disgusting.
I just don't get how a guy like Giannis can't stop Jimmy Butler, who's shooting.
His back has to be hurting him.
Yeah. Did you see him on the sideline? Definitely was hurting. He could not sit for very long.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just like you're letting a guy who's like 6 inches shorter than you shoot fadeaways out of the post. Like, just put your hand up and block the shot. Like,
I think you see them go. I mean, I think they're going to sell out again next game. They have to, and I think it's going to be more Kyle Lowry. So there's something there because when he's out there, he looks good, but he's not playing heavy minutes yet. So I think they're just being really. Spoelstra's playing like he's out there playing chess, man. He's thinking multiple games ahead. Like they sold out last night. Like if Jimmy doesn't play the full first quarter, that game's over. I think it was all Jimmy first quarter, played every minute, and it was incredible. I think if he doesn't do that, that game's over, and they get blown out. And then you saw it again late too.
I fully agree there because it looked like they were going to finally regress shooting the ball because they were shooting lights out, and the Bucks were running away with it, and it took one guy just to be able to will them back into that game. Because you just look at the box score too. He had 56. The next closest was 15. Like
probably the greatest performance I've ever seen by a Miami.
It was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous.
There's no player in Miami Heat history that could touch a performance like that.
He just throwing all the shade possible at Dwayne Wade. Love it.
I mean, just some of the LeBron performances in Miami.
Oh,
yeah, we don't. We've blocked those out of our minds.
Game 6, Boston.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think people are taking what I'm saying wrong. Yes, these players are above average, but I'm just saying they're not competing with the Boston Celtics, the Phoenix Suns, even the Denver Nuggets, the LA Lakers without Giannis out there.
Even if they somehow, like Vegas thinks they're still live, obviously in the series, but even if somehow they get out, you got a Knicks team that's like playing. I mean, they're playing really physical basketball. Like whoever's going to be in that final against Boston is going to be beat up.
I mean, it's going to be tears when title's on tomorrow.
I like that we've all just counted Philly out.
I haven't counted Philly out, but
you haven't counted them out. I mean,
count them out. That team.
They can't be Boston though.
That's who they play next.
Even at full strength. Yeah,
they'll count them out then spread because that's who they play next round.
Dude, the Bucks are minus 11
tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or is it?
Yes.
I was hoping they would get like one extra day of rest or something.
They're minus 11. Tyler, should I just bet the Heat right now?
I'm done betting that series. Every time I bet that series, I try and come in on a side on a team's going to regress shooting or something, and it just doesn't happen. I'm staying away.
My only problem is that could be a series where you got to think of Spoelstra, pretty smart. If they get down by something crazy early and Milwaukee goes on a run, Spoelstra could throw the towel in and just say, we're going all in on, at home in the next game and just run at everyone. That's my only fear with a guy like Spoelstra. But you got to think Jimmy's going to give it his all.
The Grizzlies are -4 tomorrow night, huh?
We should probably get into tonight's slate.
The
I know
Atlanta
I keep
Hawks
derailing us.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks. No, hey, they're used to it. The NBA. It's been about a half hour till we've gotten to the games about every day, huh, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, we always got to talk about the day before, and I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about at the top of the show these 3 games. I mean, I think we know how these 3 games are going tonight.
Tonight's going to be fun and interesting from an individual perspective. I want to see what Trae Young can do by himself. I think he's been really, really good over the last 2 games. Anthony Edwards and Russell Westbrook. I'm just really excited to see those 3 players. And Jamal Murray back at home.
All right, let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks, who are +13 in a game with a total of 230.5. Tyler, I was flummoxed. I was in despair. I was distressed on Sunday when I took the Hawks +7.5, and they lost by 8. I took the under. Both teams shut the line out. The final score was 129 to 121. Was it 250? 19.5 points higher than tonight's total. What do you expect tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think Boston just kind of goes out, names their score. They're just going to force – there's no DeJounte Murray. They're going to force these guys outside of Trae Young to beat him. I mean, you've seen it in the first couple of games. They were letting Murray get any shot he wanted, forcing Trae Young to just get rid of the ball. I love his over 4.5 turnovers here. He's going to have the ball in his hands more. He's cleared that number a ton in this series. You're still getting even money on it, and there's no DeJounte Murray to do ball handling around him. So I could see him racking up turnovers here in an ugly game. I think Boston wins, but 13 seems like a lot. Some of the performance doubles, like Tatum double-double and wins even money, him to score 32, which might just be a little bit too much here if they blow him out, +130. Derek White to hit 4 threes and they win +350. Al Horford to hit 4 threes and they win +540. Like, it seems like this game's just priced too far out for me, so I'm probably just going to play that Tatum double-double and win it even money, and that's it. Like, I don't want to take a 30-plus. I could see a blowout.
Bro, like every time we say that it's too priced out, and every time at the home team, if the favorite wins, it feels like they cover.
I just don't see it.
To me, it seems like a Celtics or pass.
Yeah, I think so. Agree, but I just don't want to lay 13.
I don't care. Hawks are terrible. What do you think, AP? I say it's Celtics or pass. No matter how high they put these lines, it just feels like every time – feels like most of our losses are taking points, Tyler.
So I do. All right. So I think the Hawks side, there are a few things that are interesting there. Everyone's counting them out without DeJounte Murray. You got to understand, Trae Young's been awesome over the last 2 games. Can he do it on the road? He has done. Like, he struggled. People are even I mean, doing the heat map. I cited his 2 closeout games in 21 and 22 where he's been really bad. That's such a limited sample size. Like, it really is. He's doing so good at finding, like, he had 22 potential assists last game, and him and DeJounte combined for I think 34. Like, they're doing a really good job at passing the ball, finding the open guy. He needs his wings to hit shots. I think just trying to make, so we all know the case for Boston. They're the better team. They're going to win, but can they cover? Or can the Hawks cover? I think they can. I like this lineup with Bogdan in there. He needs to stay out of foul trouble, which he didn't do last time. You're going to have more of like a 4-out, 5-out type of offensive style. You need Trae Young. Trae Young has to hit some shots early, and his guys have to hit some shots early to create some space. If that happens, Trae Young's done a nice job of getting to the rim. He's done a really good job of getting to the line and going through shooting free throws and then getting his team involved by passing the ball. So I think you need a big game from Bogdan, from Hunter. John Collins has been terrible. Maybe we see more Sadiq Bey. And then it's the bigs. They need Capella and Okongwu to win the offensive boards. And they have, I think, throughout the series. I don't have the stats up in front of me, but I do think when you're looking at offensive rebounds, the Hawks have the advantage in the series. I could be wrong. Chat, you could probably look that up and figure that out, but I know I read something that said that. So it all comes down to, can Trae Young not force shots, find his open guys, maybe get some of their, maybe get a Tatum or a Brown or, Horford or Bob Williams into foul trouble by being aggressive in the paint. If they do that, maybe they keep this game close enough. In DFS formats, you have to be interested in the Hawks side. Trae Young, 8-6. Bogdanovich should start. He's 4-8. He's going to have a big role tonight. DeAndre Hunter in the closeout game against Miami last year, I think it was Miami, played like 44 minutes, played like the entire game. He's going to have to do that again tonight. And so really for me, it comes down to like creating a group, the guys I don't trust as much, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson, and John Collins. So like I've created a group with SaberSim or Optimizer just saying I only want one of those three. I don't want two of those in any one of my lineups. So I think this game's unique from a fantasy perspective. I like the offensive efficiency on both sides. Hopefully Atlanta can keep it up and they can hit shots. If they do, you're going to see these guys produce nicely in DFS formats tonight.
All right. Tyler, anything else on this game before we move on?
Oh, that's it for me on this one.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's over for the Hawks too, but Trae, it's another closeout game for Trae Young. I think he's going to be plenty motivated tonight. So
does it worry you that this could possibly be his last game in Atlanta and he could just be checked out already?
No.
I mean, has he looked checked out the last two games?
No, I mean, no, he hasn't, but no, like if the team's already told you they're looking to trade you, you're on the brink of elimination, your Robin to your Batman is suspended, you're like, I'm done here. Like
all eyes are going to be on Ace Trae Young tonight.
Yeah, I think he wants to put up a performance regardless.
Yeah. It's going to be the same story with Russ when we get to that game.
I almost feel like, Tyler, if anything, what did I do?
Yeah,
just get my big ass forehead in there.
Face gets bigger.
Look at that thing. There we go.
There we go.
I didn't do that.
I don't know what happened there.
Anyways, if anything, I think you say, hey, Trae just goes for his and doesn't play team basketball, right? Maybe gives up on the defensive end.
I guess he could just showcase himself.
So we the people, it depends if you're talking like real points. Yeah, I'm with you. But if you're talking like fantasy scoring, I'll take Trae Young. I just think it's really impressive with what he's doing. It's like he's creating a ton of assist opportunities for his team and converting them at a high level.
Tyler, I want to talk to you about my favorite prop of the day.
Hear it.
Derek White, over 15.5 points. He's averaging 19.5 points in the series. Most times teams target Trae Young on defense. They don't even need to. Trae Young's just guarding Derek White because there's no other options for him, right? I mean, Smart would bully him. The rest of the guys are too big. So rather than hiding him on a shooter, which they would do against most teams, he's been going against Derek White. Derek White's been feasting. I like over 15.5. What do you think?
Yeah, I love that for Derek White. I also think if this game does blow out, they're going to leave somebody on the floor that can score. I don't think it's going to be Tatum or Brown. They're probably going to leave White or a Smart out there to huck up some shots. So I think he could be a guy out there late for them.
I agree with you there as well, right? The idea that, hey, let's get a point guard out there, control the pace, control the tempo of the game, make sure we close this out, and make sure we do it smart. So I like Derek White. AP, anything more on this game before we move on?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. The closest game of the night, according to the NBA odds, is the Denver Nuggets, who are only favored by 9.5, Tyler. It's a single-digit spread. This is 9 yesterday when we were kind of doing a look ahead to the show. Totals 220.5. Are the T-Wolves my favorite dog tonight? I would say yes, as far as covering the spread.
I'm on the next game as the favorite dog to cover the spread.
Okay, talk to us about the Nuggets Timberwolves.
I mean, the Timberwolves, they played two really, I won't say really good games. They played a good 6 quarters against the Denver team. That second half of the previous game before this last one, they were able to rally back in that third quarter before Denver was able to win the game in the end. And then last game, they had control of that game, but then they blinked and Denver took it to overtime and they were able to gut it out in the end. I know there were some calls late in that game. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking that they were basically handing Minnesota this game, but I didn't really watch much of it. Denver back at home, though, after a loss, I think as you see Jokic and these guys just put it on them. These role players are going to shoot better. Jamal Murray's going to be back to having crazy good games. I think they run them off the floor tonight. Out of all the favorites, too, I didn't want to lay 13 with Boston, even though I do think they win. I'm laying the 10 here with Denver. I think they smash.
Really?
Yep.
I'm glad that you're finally embracing the two-time MVP. AP, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a tight rotation from Minnesota tonight. No slow-mo Kyle Anderson, who's been a big role player for them off the bench. He really does like a lot of things quietly for them, helps to facilitate the offense. He just does a lot. But it's all about Ant. Like, this game is all about Ant. He knows it. Their team knows it. And for DFS purposes, like I'm really just considering like locking Ant in. Karl Anthony Towns has been terrible. He's just not been good. It's a tough matchup for him. Aaron Gordon's played him really well. I don't think Denver has anyone that really matches up that good to Anthony Edwards. I mean, you got Bruce Brown who comes in off the bench to help out KCP a little bit, but Ant's going to get and take whatever he wants. You got to love him in DFA. He's probably like the best play overall on the slate. Like I think him and like not even look at ownership, but ownership's going to be in our favor. I think him and Russell Westbrook are like the two best plays for DFS tonight. And they're going to be like Russ is going to be low owned, and Karl Anthony Towns again is going to be higher owned than Anthony Edwards, which blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. So I think you just go right back to Ant, lock him in, do whatever, bump his projection way up, bump Towns down. The rule I'm setting is Anthony Edwards or Towns. I think the only thing that puts Towns in play is if Anthony Edwards has an off day and Karl Anthony Towns randomly has an okay day. Outside of that, you got to like Taurean Prince off the bench. And then Austin Rivers, they went to him last game, so you could see more of him in this spot as well. But it's I think, man, this is a tough spot. It's a big spread. I can't bet it. I'm just playing it in fantasy formats. It all comes down to Anthony Edwards. If he continues to be the beast that he is, maybe this game stays close. I don't know. Nuggets have to prove something to us. They haven't been able to really close this team out yet in these games. Like, just go back to, it was their second home game. They had a massive lead, and they just let the Timberwolves come back into it, and they made it a game down the stretch. So the Nuggets Malone needs to just close this thing out. We'll see if they can get it done. I like the Wolves plus 10.
All right. You like the Wolves here too. Any thoughts on this total, Tyler? 220.5.
I mean, game one, we've seen it go under 109 to 80 when a blowout where Denver was able to pick up that win, but we also thought the Timberwolves came in flat off the play-in. Games 2 and 3 flew over this total. Game 4 creeped up over this number, but it took overtime.
Yeah.
I think Denver puts up a better offensive showing at home. We know their defense isn't all that good. Give me the over here spread. I think Denver hangs about over $110, and I think Timberwolves aren't far behind either. So,
all right, guys, made a pretty good case there. Potential RPB tag. Stay tuned, of course, to take advantage of all the great we've been doing.
One last thing. I honestly think Anthony Edwards believes that they can win this series. So you got that. Like, I think he actually believes
Michael Phelps in swimming.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You got to like that in a guy, though, especially when you're rostering for DFS.
Tyler, I didn't like him until I heard the interview where he said he could beat Michael Phelps in swimming and he could beat Tiger Woods in golf. And I said, this is my guy.
You were so against him when he made the football comment before the draft.
Yeah.
They got to, what they need is Karl Anthony Towns to go out with like a big performance. They got to ship his ass. I'm fine with Gobert there if he's there with Ant Edwards and one other piece.
And the
Cat does not work.
Like, what are you going to get for him? A second-round pick at this point, right?
They should have, hindsight's 20/20, but wouldn't you rather now have Andrew Wiggins over Karl Anthony Towns, right? Like, I don't know.
The thing is, does he ever develop into this player?
He doesn't become what he is for the Warriors.
Yeah. Good call.
Right, but I mean, we can probably. I don't even think it's an argument. Is there a bigger disaster of a trade? The Rudy Gobert trade is the worst trade since the Nets did that Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, that was going to be the one that I said was worse. Just because you look at what that did to two franchises, it just butterfly affected. The Nets haven't been the same since, and Boston was able to just rebuild and keep it going.
The other rule, like these rules have been saving me for DFS, and you can go over, like if you read the heat map, I laid them out in there. But another rule is Jamal Murray or Jokic. It's like almost never both of them. Like, and we're talking trying to get that optimal lineup, like in the $15 100K or $20 100K up top. You want optimal performances. You rarely see, like when Jamal goes off, Jokic isn't hitting his ceiling typically, especially in the playoffs. So those are key rules to put in there, and that's why I have the Ant Edwards or Karl Anthony Towns, but not both of them together.
That's a bad trade right there, too. That is a bad trade.
But they did that on purpose to get Embiid.
I mean, they did, but no, Embiid was already there. Noel was a couple years after Embiid, but I mean,
they traded Simmons?
No, they drafted Nerlens Noel with that 6th pick, and the dude stinks.
Yeah, but I'm talking the next year.
Oh, I mean,
they got the number 1 overall, right?
The next year, I think, was Simmons, yeah. But I mean, that panned out in the long run.
I mean, they were just trying to get rid of him. Come on, Cat's not that bad. This is like the ultimate slander you could give somebody. He's not that bad.
Ben Simmons robbed us of like the Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid just terrorizing the East for years.
He's just like an easy guy to pick on. Like, right? Like, he's just so goofy.
Who, Cat?
Yeah.
I want the Cat back from like the
he's still better than Ben.
You gotta get him mic'd up every game.
At least you can respect him, right?
You're gonna think like 4 different guys around that mic.
He's like, yeah, we haven't seen him in our house yet. We're going back to our house. That clip's my favorite.
He cracks me up with his voice changes.
Oh, that's really like, hilarious.
Deep voice, like he's trying to talk all big, and then it gets all high pitched again.
I'm gonna do that. You ready, Tyler?
Can we bring back the Karl Anthony Towns that like showed up in the league those first 2 years? Where it was like dude's dropping 40 points, and it's like, whoa, like this guy looks like a stud, and then he just disappeared. Got comfortable.
Yeah. All right, Tyler, here's my Karl Anthony Towns voice. The Los Angeles Clippers, 12.5, taking on the Phoenix Suns. A total 224.
Now you got to go high pitched.
What's your pick?
I'm on the Clippers. I mean, the Suns are good. They're gonna win the game. I think it's too many points for the Clippers. I mean, we talked about it. They're running 6 guys out there. Eventually, one of these guys is going to pull a hammy. I hate to say it. Like, if they were my pick to win it all, when the trade went down, I thought it was just an overstacked team. But they're only overstacked on the starters. There's nobody coming off the bench. Like, Cam Payne might be their best bench player, and he hasn't played a single minute yet in this series. Could he see tonight? Yes. But, like, when they advance in these playoffs, they're going to have some troubles.
Why? Who cares? You only put 5 people on the court.
Yeah, but all it takes is one tweak of an ankle to one guy, and it's like now we have to play.
Yeah, but that's happening all over the court. That's happening all over the league.
Yeah, but all right, just for instance, they get the next round. They're playing Denver.
Okay.
Let's say KD tweaks an ankle. And
Jamal Murray, but let's say Michael Porter hurts his back.
Yeah.
Let's say Jamal Murray hits his knee, right? I mean, we can go both ways.
Okay, but look at the guys that Denver's plugging in for them, and then look at the guys that the Suns are plugging in for Durant.
Okay, that's fair. But my point is whoever gets an injury is losing no matter what.
I mean, yeah, but I think Phoenix can't take one injury. Like, they get an injury to one of these 4 guys.
Denver can't either.
I mean, I think Denver can withstand an injury a little bit better.
All right, that's fair. I guess I would give you that.
Like,
but I'm sorry, because we're kind of screwing around. Did you like the Clippers plus 12.5 here?
Yes, I do, because Phoenix isn't playing any defense either. Like, Phoenix or the Clippers get hot from 3, they can keep this somewhat close.
Okay.
But I do think Phoenix wins in the end. Like, this performance double. Devin Booker to hit 3 threes and they win plus 125. I'll be on that. I mean, the dude's found his 3-point shot come playoff time. He's been hitting a ton. And I would rather bet that over him scoring 30 points and they win it minus 108.
All right. AP, what are your thoughts here on the Clippers and the Suns?
Yeah, I mean, man, this is it's gonna be a tough one, but like in DFS, I think it's interesting just because you got Russ playing like he is, and why is anything gonna change? Yeah, the Suns are gonna win this game. They could cover, but you're still gonna get 38 minutes of Russ Westbrook unless like the Suns are up by like 35, 40 in the fourth. And I just, from a DFS standpoint, capping it, it's tough. Like I lean, like just because Phoenix, I think they're not good defensively. They're really good offensively, but they're not good defensively. I think Ayton's been really bad in the series. Like Russ is getting whatever he wants, and he's usually a guy that you keep him out of the paint, force him to shoot jumpers, and life's usually good. But I think the Clippers will be competitive. I think they could cover here, but I think it's more intriguing for DFS purposes. Like like Zubac is projecting to be a guy that could get some ownership, like more ownership than like Westbrook here. And so a lot of that has to do with the different spend up options on the slate. But I'm really considering making a big stand on Anthony Edwards, Russ Westbrook, and then I also like Trae Young. So I'm going to see if you can make that work. If you can't, I'm really like considering just taking heavy stands on Russ and Edwards and then rotating in some of those other studs. Like, it's tougher to play KD or Booker. They're both going to play heavy minutes, but they both take away from each other. That's another place where you create a rule of Booker or KD. So that's where I'm talking about, like, my strategy in MME formats. I want to take some really bold stands on key players. Russ and Edwards, likely to be those guys. I don't know if you can fit it in another stud, but if you can, I would be rotating in some of these and using rules. Booker. Yeah, guard's loaded. That's the other. And Booker is almost 10K. He's 9'6". Yeah, so, like, I can't play Booker over Russ.
Are you going to be able to get 3 studs in there? Is there enough value?
Edwards 9'1". I can't play Booker at 9'6" over Edwards at 9'1". Russ is 9'3". That's why I have him second, and then I have Trae Young first. But I think this game, like, I think the Suns, if they blow them out, it's just going to be like they're just going to overpower them, offensively. I just don't think their defense has been that good. I think Norman Powell could have a good game here too. I think you're going to have some role. Like, Terrence Mann has been good, but they just never play him any minutes. And then you got Bones, who could get hot and get them back in this. So I think the game's going to be competitive. I think, if you land on some of these guys, Booker, KD, Chris Paul, Ayton, I think you're going to be fine because they're forced into heavy minutes. So at least you have the minute security there. But Russ is going to be kind of a flag play of mine that I'm considering tonight. He just, for some reason, maybe ownership projections are wrong, but I'm showing like 6 to 8%, which just seems crazy low for a guy that's putting up 60 pieces, the last 2 nights.
17 to 29 shooting in his last game, so you can't even say that he's inefficient and playing good defense as a show that's really, hey, let's be honest, most NBA podcasts do it as well. But pretty heavy on the Russell Westbrook slander. We've had to eat our words, and I got to give him credit because he has been playing well. AP, we just finished the NFL draft show. For those who missed it, the information is going to be good for at least another day. It's on this Run Pure Sports YouTube channel, and we had Meg on to help us, right? Go through the draft. We found a couple winners, gave them to the people, and just had some nice NFL talk, right? So when we're getting off, AP makes us see you guys Thursday. And I say, well, I don't know. Because one of these home teams is going to have to lose tonight, or we don't have a show on Thursday because there's going to be no games on Thursday. My question for you is, what do you think the chances are that we actually have a show with Meg and Kurt talking some NBA on Thursday? Or am I going to have a day off hiking in the sun, listening to Star Wars, forgetting that the Lakers even exist? Which do you think is going to happen?
I mean, what are the odds if you parlay all 3 together? Because Celtics aren't losing.
It was minus 161 yesterday. It's probably minus 180 now.
That's just, I can't. It's just too much juice for a 3-team money line parlay.
It almost doesn't feel like,
because I
almost feel like it should be minus 400.
We tried to get it to even money, AP, and we put the Bucks
with
in there.
The Bucks. So yeah, I'm still crying about that. Jimmy Buckets bucked me.
I mean, maybe if one team were to do it, I think it's the Wolves. I'm there with Tyler. Edwards last night, probably watching Jimmy Butler, gets inspired, goes, takes his team, puts them on their back, plays 45 minutes, puts up like 40 raw. I mean, I could see Edwards doing that tonight. I would say the Wolves if there's any team here. Celtics aren't losing, and I mean, come on, the Suns cannot afford to lose this game. They have to win. They got to put them away, get it so that they're not playing one more game and extending this thing out, because then they're going to have a battle next round against the Nuggets.
Even we have Sony Walkman slander in the chat. Hey, good question here from DDAP. Power forward is scary on DraftKings today. There's a huge opportunity cost after Tatum and KD. I don't want to play either of them. How are you looking at power forward? Because he makes a good point there. If you don't spend up, it's kind of slim pickings. Who are you targeting at power forward?
Yeah, it's a great question. And that might be, when you look at ownership projections, I was surprised by the Cat ownership. A lot of people could be putting Cat at that power forward spot. I like cheapies. I think you got Jalen Johnson, you got Sadiq Bey that we talked about. You can also play DeAndre Hunter at the power forward spot, or John Collins if that's your preferred choice. He's been terrible. And then, so I don't mind going cheap at the power forward spot. I want to spend up at guard or small forward on the slate. The guards are Trae Young, Russ, and Ant Edwards. That's going to leave me value at the forward position.
All right, there you have it. Tyler, anything more on the Clippers and the Suns before we wrap this up?
Nope, that's it for me.
Actually, we're not going to wrap up. We got to get thoughts on tomorrow from AP. Right, Tyler?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what else do you got from the Clippers Suns? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, the only other thing I was going to touch on was I think they, like how AP said the Timberwolves are the team that maybe gives us a Thursday game. Mm-hmm. I agree there too, because like the Suns are seeing all the Paul George news. He's practicing again. It's like, let's not mess around here. Dude shows up and later in this series. I know they said second round, but you win a game in a series and make it competitive. The guy might be like, all right, I'm just going to come back now. So you end it now and you just kill all that talk right now.
Two guys that think they can win tonight, Russ Westbrook and Anthony Edwards. I know they're going in like knowing full confident that they can win these games. That's who I want to bet on, especially in DFS.
The Clippers must be like having like a spouse cheating on you. You're just like constantly like wondering where they are, what they're doing, if they're ever coming back. I mean, boy, I think it's bad being a Kings fan. Like, at least like we've known that we sucked and I can just start looking at the draft around February every year. I mean, this team, every year they give you this potential.
I think that's all Ballmer wants. Ballmer just wants his blood pressure to go up on the
sideline.
No,
Ballmer wants a championship.
He loves celebrating any little thing on the sideline. He's going nuts.
We got to have Ballmer on a playback.
That dude's wild.
That is crazy. So we got 3 home closeout games tonight, and we have 3 away closeout games tomorrow.
Right. So really about tomorrow. We don't need to go through each game, AP, but we don't have you here, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. We talked a little bit about it, right? Because we were reviewing just everything that we happened. But as I'm looking, I see the Bucks are at -11. That Heat +11 looks tasty. The Cavaliers are -5.5. The Grizzlies are -4, and the Kings are +3.5 with De'Aaron Fox being questionable. Is there any bets that stand out to you for tomorrow?
Let's see. I think the Cavs get it done. When you look at that, you got a stretch there where Darius Garland really got it going, and they're in New York. I mean, what a just electric environment. Those games are slow paced, a lot of defense, but Donovan Mitchell's been terrible. That's like a series I think goes 7 games. So I think Cleveland gets the win. I like them to cover, and give me the Lakers too. I still think the Lakers, the last 2 games, I don't think they have played like that good. They weren't good from 3. I got to look at the stats from last night, but this team, and Anthony Davis he didn't show up. I think the Lakers, you got to think of LeBron too. They're going in. You got a coach on the floor with all the experience in the world in this spot. He's going to tell his team, we need to close this out tonight. We can't mess around any longer. I think they win. I like the spread's going to hate this, but the side and money line +140. And then, the Heat and Bucks, I'm going to take Miami +11. If you're Spoelstra, give me 2 games where you go all out. Like if it goes to 7, you're probably not winning that game against the Milwaukee Bucks because they've probably figured something out. You got 2 games, just like in the play-in tournament, except for they're both home games. You got 2 games to close this team out. I think they just go all out in these next 2 games. So my only worry with Miami is if they're down like 20 or 25 or something like that early, my one fear would be Spo just throwing in the towel, throwing in the scrubs, getting Jimmy rested, and then going all out at home.
AP, you don't have to worry about making me mad. I came to the realization this morning that God created the NBA.
Look at that +460 too.
Pain in my life. He said, "You got it too easy. You eat steak every night. You live in beautiful California. You get to go hiking all the time. I need to give you some sort of test." So God created the NBA and got me interested in it. So
that +460. is kind of nice too. I think maybe that's the way you play it.
Which one?
Well, I think if Miami covers, they're probably live to win the game. So, like, just give me, like, maybe reduce your unit size down, take the plus 460, and just say.
I mean, there's a lot of scenarios where they cover 7, though, right? And
no, it's 11.
I mean, I'm just saying the game lands.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like it. My final question for you is: Davion Mitchell season tomorrow night. Do you think he'll be priced appropriately, or is everybody gonna have him in their lineup?
Well, I think
Fox is going to be out there, right? Which might lower his ownership.
The problem with Davion, oh yeah, it is a 4-game slate. I had that game hidden.
How could you hide the one series that's brought us entertainment and joy as NBA fans? The only series that's tied 2-2. The rest of them are 3-1. They're about to be over.
When you think about Davion and how he got there, like for that slate that I almost shipped,
right?
He was out there alongside Fox, and Fox was creating a lot of those open looks for him. So I think now he's not going to get a lot of those open looks. I think I'm with We the People. It has to be Malik Monk. Monk has to step up. He struggled the last few games. Kevin Huerter has to step up. Sabonis, he has to have a monster game.
And this
you got to love.
Isn't this a terrible matchup for Sabonis?
It's been a tough one. It's been brutal. And you got to have the rookie who was a hero last game. I mean, he was incredible. Keegan Murray at home needs to do what he did last game.
Bro,
and Harrison Barnes needs that. He needs that. They all need that big game. What about? I think they
watch tomorrow night.
I think you could see some Terrence Davis too. They're going to need it in the series against Golden State. You're going to need offense. Terrence Davis is at least a guy that can come in and create, and that's what Fox is doing so good. Just getting whatever he wanted, getting to his spots. I could see them lean on Terrence Davis here too.
Jonathan Nelson says Kobe won a championship with a broken index finger. As much as I love Fox, I don't know if I'm ready to say he can do it just because Kobe did it, right? Fox isn't out for sure, though, is he? He's doubtful.
He practiced today. He's going to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to play too. I think he's going to play too.
Dude doesn't play.
Oh, okay. Now, he might end up quitting after 5 minutes.
You tape the finger to the other one and get out there. His shot might not
fractured
be
finger. Yeah,
he's still going to get to the rim. It will.
So that I mean, it still changes things. Like if he can get to the rim, then it's fine. But those outside shots
has a broken hand since like February, so maybe we'll be okay. Maybe I'm just a doomer.
We'll see.
Climate change is going to doom us all, so maybe that's just my mindset.
When did it happen in that last game?
Fourth quarter, but you didn't even notice because he was still out there balling on the last shot. So who knows? All right, AP, any more thoughts on tomorrow before we give the best bets for tonight?
Yeah, well, the T. Davis call is more so if like Fox was going to be out, but maybe they get him going anyway.
Here's the thing: Fox is going to play. It's just how effective is he going to be, and how many minutes is he going to be if he's not effective?
Well, it's a finger, so like his minutes, I think. I guess we'll see.
He's breaking the slate tomorrow. Play him. He's going to be under.
Yeah, he might be
50 plus, and they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. He's got to be super low owned tomorrow, right?
I will have a lineup before.
Like, if you're the Kings, you should still be like, well, what's the spread? I guess I should have looked at that.
Kings are plus 3.5.
All right, I like the Kings plus. No, I got them at plus 4. Give me the Kings plus 4 money line.
Really?
Just like the Lakers plus 4.
That's funny. I think the series is over.
But why?
Why?
You were in Gold State and you were one shot away from
right. I just don't think he's 100%, and he's.
But now you're back home playing a team that turns into a G League team when they go on the road.
That's a great point. I can't wait to
discuss this a little more. And their wins, it's not like Fox alone carrying them. They're role player. Everyone is playing their part. Just like I like the Lakers.
He is carrying them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like a Jimmy Butler type of carry. Like he's literally carrying his whole team. You know,
yeah,
I mean, Fox has gotten help from. Yeah, we'll see. It comes down to the role players. Kevin Huerter, he has to be awesome. Malik Monk has to be awesome. So I think he becomes a good DFS play.
Bad finger or not spread. I'm still sticking to my guns. He's hitting the clutch shot in the fourth quarter, Game 7. Warriors go home.
Hopefully they keep Poole in there. He's just so mistake prone.
Get that guy to San Antonio or somewhere where he can.
I mean, how many turnovers did he have last game again? They started Draymond at half. Jordan Poole is
hurt. Yeah,
playing stupid. Like the dude's just not a good ball player.
Wow.
Actually, they only had 11 turnovers last game. That seems low for the Warriors.
All right, there you have it.
Don't they average like 15 or 16 or something like that? They average a shit ton of turnovers.
Who's a better ball player, DiVincenzo or Jordan Poole?
I mean, are you talking like basketball, like IQ? Like just smarter player?
If you were like pick a basketball player, who's better, player A or player B? Jordan Poole or DiVincenzo? I'm taking DiVincenzo.
It's all if it's a team. All right, so if it's a team where it's just I want them to be competitive, and like if it's like the Orlando Magic or like the Wizards or something like that, I'd rather have Poole because he at least is going to be entertaining, keep you competitive. If it's a legit contender, probably DiVincenzo because he plays his role. DiVincenzo's never going to like take over a game though.
Yeah, that's the perfect breakdown, AP. Perfect breakdown. All right, let's jump into tonight. Let's give out our best bets. Tyler, start with you. Best bet for today's side, total or prop?
Mine's going to be a performance double. I'm going to stick with that Devin Booker 3+ threes and they win. It's at +128 now on FanDuel. If you want to have some fun with the other two games, because I've seen guys in the chat wanting to moneyline parlay them, let's not lay -190 on a 3-team moneyline parlay. When we seen last night, the Bucks can just blow games at the end of a game. Could easily happen here on these games. So get it up to 19-1. Booker to hit 3 threes and they win. Jamal Murray back at home to hit 4 threes and Denver wins. And then Marcus Smart, who shot double-digit shots in every game of this series to score 15 points in Boston win. That gets you to 19-1. I don't hate playing that for a little bit of money.
We the People's giving a best bet. He says Russ double-double, but not to win, just the double-double. I'm with you there. And Tatum double-double and win. Like those. Thank you, We the People, for hanging out. AP, what's your best bet for the day? Side, total, or prop?
I'm going to say my best bet is for tomorrow, and that's going to be the Lakers money line and the side to close it out.
Wow, do you see how many strays I catch on this show?
I had to.
That was perfect.
I will be on tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
And but I'm going to give out. So I'm going to go in DFS formats, though. Ant may be too easy. I'm gonna go Russ, man. I think Russ is like Trae Young. So I still like Trae Young, but when you just look straight up Russ to Trae Young, Boston, they could throw the sink at Trae Young. He has struggled with closeout spots. I'm not fading him. Okay, I'm not fading him. But the leverage that you're gonna get off Russ, who's just a little bit more expensive, I think is awesome tonight. And I think both guys play hard, but I think if you're truly thinking about it, who thinks they actually have a shot in this game? I would say Russ, because he's stubborn. He shows up to play. He's competitive no matter what. Trae Young in the past, we've seen some quitting him. So give me Russ over Trae Young tonight as my DFS play of the night.
All right, there's your DFS play of the night. I mean, I'm going with Tyler. You made some good points, Tyler. Give me the Denver Nuggets -9.5. Send these Timberwolves home. Anthony Edwards is going to show out in a loss. He's going to break the slate, and they're going to lose by 15 points. Go over on your Edwards props, but take the Nuggets -9.5. AP, we got a lot of great stuff going on over at runpuresports.com. Head on over, use promo code SPREAD15, become a member. NBA Playbook will be up within 15 minutes. Jump in the Discord. And what other great benefits does the Run Pure Sports membership give you, AP?
Yeah, come sign up and you'll see our best bet, our best group bet of the day tomorrow. That is the Lakers to close out the series, +4 and money line. No, in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, we got a ton of content coming up. MLB Swing for the Fences coming up. Then we're going up to lock. As we transition now to baseball season, we have 2 baseball shows, one going up to lock, obviously in replace of the NBA shows. So we also got the golf show tonight. There'll be 4 of us on there. I'll be on. So come join us. Run Pure Sports, spread 15, Tyler 15, 15% off.